everyone. Welcome to the spot, the Stacked After Hours spot. I am your host, Natalie Cosby, and welcome to the show for Grown Folks Talk. Tonight, we are talking about what turns you off, right? What turns you off from dating to meeting that first person that first time, to dating, to relationships. So y'all ready? Y'all get ready. Get those cocktails. Keep those fingertips loose because we want to hear your questions and comments on tonight's show. And here at Side, we keep it what? Lit and enlightening. So let's get into it. Hi, Sunshine. So I don't know if people heard before. We are talking about what turns you off. And Sunshine, let's jump right into it. What turns you off?
There's different areas, right? Especially when it
I
comes to
said that
relationships.
dating.
So
Yep.
yes, right. So are we talking if we're talking
You
about
meet you meet that guy for the first time.
okay.
He cute.
Oh,
You go out on a date and he does one of your top three turnoffs. What are they?
well, he got a tooth missing or a few
Ooh.
teeth missing or his teeth ain't right. Um he's cheap
Mm,
and and when I say cheap, I'm not, I'm gonna preface that with I ain't trying to ask nobody to pay for nothing, but it's the way how they interact with wherever we're going with money.
right.
And the lastly is how they treat the wait staff. I remember dating someone that thought tipping the wait staff was not, he should never do that. They're working for an hourly pay. He ain't tipping nobody.
Mm,
And that to me was a big turn off.
right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
I
about you?
for me is on the first date going somewhere and you act like you ain't never been there before. No,
Girl,
and what I mean by that, they act real,
brand new.
sometimes brand new.
Like,
And
ooh, they got, ooh.
what I can't. Like I went, you know what? I remember I went out with this guy. He was a cop. And this is not to all cops, but he was a cop. And we went out to, like, let's say Peaches, right? And he ordered a burger. He's like, his burger is $10. I was like, what? And then the other thing, if you gotta look, you gotta at least have some sense, right? Some
Mhm.
sense, and can articulate and actually have a conversation with me.
Right.
And so when he first met me, he's like, "How do you say your name?"
Natalie?
I was like, "What?" I
Like
said,
it's not like your
"Natalie."
name is Shatamanga, Shakamanga.
Exactly. I was like, we're talking about three syllables here, four. Natalie. Like, come on. So those things, yeah, and just people, I can't stand cheap mugs.
Yeah, and also somebody that just talks about themselves, that's
Mhm.
really fond of themselves or judgmental to people. Look at her, she look crusty. Look at her, look at them clothes that, like somebody that's very judgmental to other people. It makes me feel like why the like why the hell are you here? Like what are you here for? You
See,
know,
I to me, I the talking about themselves, but also when they constantly are talking about their ex. I'm like, why am I here?
girl, yes.
Like,
Yes. It's almost like they're comparing you, right?
right.
Yeah.
Right. I remember I went out on a date with some guy. He's just like, I was like, this is over. Like, like the whole 30 minutes, the first 30 minutes of the date, you've been talking about your ex. Like, what the hell?
Obviously not over the ex.
Obviously, you're not. Like, guys, do not go out on a date trying to get over somebody and you ain't over her. Like, that's whack. That's
Yeah.
so whack.
That's a big turn off.
It really, really, really
Let me
is.
see some other turn offs. I mean, like turn offs in terms of like if you're in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I think like when I lose respect for someone, I think, it just goes downhill from there. And I try to give people grace, especially when it comes to certain things. But if it happens over and over again, and I lose respect for you, what could make me lose respect? Maybe like not feeling protected,
Yeah.
right? If I'm with you in a relationship and I don't feel like you're bringing anything in the relationship that is a compliment to what I'm bringing in, and I'm not talking about salary, I'm talking about effort. That to me is a turn off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Relationships are hard because I think you go in and do you see the turn offs in the beginning? Like one
Let
and
me
you
think
kind of
about
just
that while you
ignore
talk.
them. You know what I'm saying? Like I've dated men and I'm like, but I
So,
like him. You know what I'm saying? But I like him, but he got that thing, and that thing is gonna come up.
yeah.
That
No,
thing,
and when I say turn off, I don't mean turn off, and you're probably saying the same thing too, right? I don't mean turn off in terms of, every little thing they do, I'm just going to walk away. I
right,
mean, you give them grace, but, that grace can sometimes run out,
right.
And, I remember being in a relationship where, the respect was just gone. And once I lose respect for somebody, I don't want you to touch me. I don't want to lay with you because I just lost respect. So,
Yeah.
it's time to go.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I think one of the things with my turnoffs is, I come from like, don't embarrass me. Like
Girl.
just don't, and if it's a constant you show your ass while we are, with friends, family, even in just basic, but like, don't do that. Like, if that becomes a thing, I'm gonna definitely, we're probably gonna come to an end.
How many times they have to mess up before you're like, I'm out?
Girl, let me say this. Somebody I stayed with for a really long time, and he consistently messed up, and I was just like, enough.
After a while,
But
it's
I mean, like, again, different strokes for different folks. But with the relationships and the turnoffs, those are hard because I feel like you're vested. Versus when
yeah.
you're dating someone or you meet someone, or even if you're dating, you're like, you know what? I'm not. We've been dating for 3 months, and more shit comes up, so it's easy for me to like exit stage
Yeah.
right or left or whatever. But yeah, I don't know.
But before we bring everyone in though, what is one thing that turns you off in a sexual relationship? In sex.
And sex. What is the one thing that turns me off with sex? I
Okay, well let's
mean,
bring the
well,
folks
you
in
know
then.
what? It's not even sex. What turns me off in intimacy altogether is if you can't kiss.
Right. Yeah.
If you can't kiss, we ain't
Yeah.
gonna make it.
I agree. Kissing is
Mhm.
big for me. Your teeth can't be fucked up. I mean, that's
And
just
that, but yeah.
it's just I'm just not gonna be turned on by that. And the last thing is like an uncircumcised penis.
Some women.
I don't want no turtlenecks. I'm just saying.
Well, well,
And on that note,
yes. Let's bring the guest in. everyone. So we have some newbies tonight, and I'm going to introduce them first. He got drunk with Michael Jordan in Midtown Atlanta. New to the show, let's welcome Dr. Reginald Cardwell. We call him Reggie. Say hello, Reggie. Reggie, I think you're on mute. Just make sure you're not on mute. Next, we also new to the show. She can beat all of us and her friends in Jeopardy. Let's welcome Miss Joy Barinda. How you doing?
Hey there.
Hi.
Hi. Cool. And then finally, he used to believe if a woman didn't fall fast asleep after sex, that meant he had a poor performance.
I've heard that before, though. I've heard that.
I've heard that too. He said one time a woman got up and got him some water, and he was in his feelings. Let's welcome our new age John Smith, Mr. Malik Kayem. Hi, Malik. He's in Colombia, y'all. He's also one of our stack singles. So DM.
Boy, that is hilarious.
Isn't that hilarious? I was like, Lord, Malik, we're gonna have to talk about that a little bit more, but we'll talk about that later. So, lady and gents, just give me when you meet somebody, I would really wonder, because me and Anthony were talking about this. Really, when you first meet someone on a date, what have been some turnoffs that have just recently you've been like, peace? I'm gonna start with B Joy.
Okay. So one turnoff is too quick with the sexual language. That was a no. I met someone, I gave him my number, and he texted me sexually before he ever said, "Hey, I'm the guy you just met." It was just right with the sex talk, and that was too soon. So that didn't go past that initial, conversation. But actually, if we make it to a date, if we get to a date, what can turn me off is like a wandering eye. You're too unfocused. You're looking everywhere else. A woman walks by and how old are we? You've seen women before. You got to be focused on me if you invited me out. That can be a turn off. Being inappropriate for the room. Like if you know what restaurant we're in or what place we're going, and you got this attitude like, I'm me everywhere I go. Well, they got a word for that. It's not. That's a turn off for me. I don't want to stick out in a room in any kind of weird way because of who I'm dating.
Okay. All right. I like that. Mr. Reggie, Dr. Reggie.
A female who's too colorful. And just too colorful, over the top, happy. Meaning that they come in just like no one could be more positive. No one is more colorful. No one is more happier than they are. Always laughing, and just like it's just uncalled for.
You don't like bubbly women?
Nah.
Okay.
It's unnecessary because nobody can be that happy all the time.
Does anybody have music playing in their background? If you can turn that off.
Okay.
Thank you.
Just someone who's just over the top, just happy. Like I'm Miss Extra Positive. I bring all this energy when the energy's not even necessary. It's just you and I. We're just chilling, getting to know each other. But they're just over the top, just extravagant, colorful in their dress and in their personality when it's not necessary. It's just you and I just sitting here getting to know each other, and you're just like you're just everywhere.
Okay. All right. All right. You have another one? What have you witnessed? Because you date.
Okay. I don't like.
Be honest now. Be honest.
I don't like women who wear fake hair. I think fake hair means you're lazy.
Oh.
Yeah, you can't get up and do your basic hygiene. If you can't do your own hair, it's yours, so do it. Those are things that just really turns me off. I just feel like that.
You're probably gonna get a lot of hate mail for that.
Hey, listen, you ask me, okay? So I'm giving you the truth.
Yeah, that's what we want.
Lazy. I mean, there's so many hairstyles out here now, that you can go with that don't require a whole lot of maintenance. Why would you want to go put just this big rug on top of your hair or top of your head and then you want to wear it? We had a conversation like this a couple of weeks ago when we talked about the fact that, you show up with short hair one date and then the next date you have long hair and then the next date you have medium hair. I'm like, yo, okay, give me some consistency. What
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So you don't like braids either, or it's just wigs?
Uh, to a certain extent, braids, but just in moderation, just like alcohol, in moderation, please. Don't have it all the way down to your butt cheeks. I've seen it like that, a lot down here in Miami. Women wear these long braids, and it's like, why? Why? It's in the way. It's disruptive. It's in the way that with all the beads and the clicking and the noise and all of that stuff.
The clicking. Okay. All right. All
That's a
right.
mating call. I think the clicking is a mating call.
All right, Malik.
All kind of menagerie and stuff like that.
Menagerie. That's
irritating.
a word for
it's like
the
a
day,
Christmas
y'all.
tree.
Menagerie.
You walk by a Christmas tree, it's got bulbs and lights on it and stuff. That's what it's like.
Oh
Yeah.
Lord. Okay, so Reggie does not want your hair looking like a Christmas tree.
Yeah,
Okay,
irritating stuff. Yeah.
I'm gonna say maybe just women who are rude, and I think women who place expectations on you that they themselves cannot meet.
Mm.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's like a big. It's like, you'll meet say, because he said he's in Miami. So like I remember I was in Miami and some girls were like, hey, let's go out on a boat for the day. And I'm like, now I don't mind going out on a boat for the day because I'm actually from New York. That's something I want to do. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, are you asking me something? Are you kind of asking me to do something that if the shoe was on the other foot, would you be able to take me out on a boat for the afternoon? You know what I mean? It just kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
Or are you a boat chick? Like, are you really a boat chick? Like, do you do this regularly, or is it just like you said, because you're with me, you want to go to that restaurant when you're not that type of restaurant person? You're a Chili's girl, but you want to go.
Oh,
You're correct. Because I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you what's funny. You say that because when I was in school in Boston, I met actual boat women who like, oh, this is the stern and the bow, and you got hoist the jib. They were really into like boating and yachting, and then you meet girls in Miami who just like, let's go out on a boat for the day, and it's like, and and I just felt like that's more indicative of like, do you just want to go? Do you want to spend time with me and get to know me, or would anybody who could fulfill that need be your date?
Right.
You know what I
mean? Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's a big thing here. In a major metropolitan area with lots of things that you can do. People come here, they want these exotic outings, and you're standing there looking at them like, I don't think you do that on a regular basis. I could just tell by the way you're dressed. You got a fake Louis Vuitton purse on.
How you know it's fake though?
Because the patterns aren't lined up; they're all off.
So, all right, gentlemen.
I never knew that men pay attention to even all of those details.
Yes.
Because listen, I feel like if you're going to buy something, don't buy the real thing. If you can't afford it, then you don't need it. So why go out and buy fake? We're the real deal. That's just me. That's how I feel. If I'm going to wear something,
I wanna understand y'all.
Like hair, the same thing with hair. It's not yours.
Right. So I wanna understand for you guys, because are all of you guys single, or is everybody single or no? Okay.
Single.
Okay. Single. People who have been single probably now in a relationship. So B-Joy, you're in a relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What have been, you have requirements, we have standards, right? But when you meet someone on that date and they do turn you off, or you've been dating them for a while and you do turn them off, or you are turned off, how do you let them know? Let's say we're dating. You met them, you're like, okay, I like them, blah, 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 blah. How do you know, like, okay, they just did something. I can't believe they did that. Do you let them know? Are you already like ghosting? Are you saying peace? What has been your experience?
That happened to me most recently. I met um, doing the online dating thing. Um, Met this young lady. We hadn't seen each other, and so we decided to meet each other at a mall here in Miami. She had just gotten off of a flight because she was a flight attendant, and so she drove down from Fort Lauderdale to meet me in North Miami at the mall. So she had her uniform on. She had her skirt and stuff, and she she told me that she was a few extra pounds overweight. And when I saw her, I said, "Impossible. Uh, you're not a few pounds overweight." And she tried to convince me that all her weight was in the right places, like she was proportional, meaning that she was big up top, small in the waist, big in the hips, big in the back.
It was an hourglass.
She played basketball. So in my mind, okay, she's an ex-athlete. I know how that body type pans out after a couple of years. However, that wasn't the case. So the way that it ended up happening is she went in the store to buy some shoes for her son. She came out, and I just simply said, "Listen, I don't think this is going to work. I just feel like that you weren't forthcoming with the truth about how you looked." She said, "What do you mean?" I said, "You're not what you said you were. You told me you played basketball. You have an athletic body. You don't have an athletic body."
Wow.
And I just told her like that. Yeah. So yeah, because she lied.
So
You
what?
lied. Don't blame me. You lied. You lied.
What do you require, though? What do you
No,
require?
the truth.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
the
if
truth.
she had told, so let me ask you, so if she had told you, okay, I have put on some weight,
Like me.
okay,
And
Yeah.
in the right place.
would you have still, even after you saw her, would you have still gone out with her?
Uh,
No.
you told me she put on some weight.
Yeah,
No,
if
no,
she
no,
told
no, 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 no. Even if she told the truth, would you have still gone out with her?
Uh,
I don't think
it
she was his
depends.
type.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, if she told me that and it was the truth, yeah. And she did in her bio. She said she had an athletic build. So I'm thinking in my mind, okay, I know what an ex basketball player looks like. I know what an ex female basketball player looks like. Basketball. However,
Maybe she was a sinner. Maybe she was
there you
like,
go with the maybes. There you go with the maybes.
I'm
I
just
don't think she was
saying.
his
I
type.
said
I think it,
maybe.
I think
Now,
the bottom line, she wasn't his type.
What if
Right. I
she
think
was
that's.
like a
So I
sumo
think
wrestler?
so
There
I
are a
think
lot
Go
of
even if
ahead,
she was
different
Biggie. What were
sports.
honest,
you saying?
I'm
What if
just
she was a sumo wrestler? There are a lot of different sports. Maybe she meant that kind of athlete.
wait a minute. No, she said basketball. She was clear when she said she played basketball. Yeah, so I know what an ex basketball player who played and who picked up some weight looks like. But she clearly was not an ex basketball player.
Okay.
Maybe a shot put,
So,
but not an ex
right.
basketball.
So, Reggie, what do you require in order to not be turned off?
Truthfulness, just especially at my age, I don't have a time to lie and waste anyone's time. My time is the most precious thing I have in my life right now. Maybe if I was in my 20s and my 30s, you can, burn a day or two, get over it. But now, I'm at
Okay.
that
So,
golden
time.
age
What
in my
else?
life.
What are the
Yeah,
other two? I want three. What are the other two?
authenticity.
but
I can give you six.
aesthetically, though, I think
Authenticity.
aesthetically, what do you require?
Um, Someone who's healthy, because
What
I
does
like
that
to.
mean, Reggie?
Someone who's at the proportional weight that if I say let's go ride a bike, she can fit on a seat. You know,
You mean her ass can fit on a seat?
right? We can we
Right.
can go. We can do things. We can do things like ride a bike. We can go walking. Things that are healthy that I like to do. And once things that are applicable to my lifestyle. It's like
Okay.
that's what I like. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Be joy.
Mhm.
What has been your request?
You mean physically?
Both. You can give me two, whatever they are, but at least one physical.
Okay. I like tall. I'm tall. I'm 5'10". So taller than me is nice, so I can wear heels and not feel. But I've dated a guy that was 5'8", 5'9",
Do you
and we
do men taller than you usually approach you? I'm always curious because I always find that women who are taller, they have a hard time. Do you have a hard time getting men who are just as tall or
No,
taller? Okay.
no, not a hard time, but I get approached by men different heights too.
Okay.
And I mean, if the confidence is there and the cockiness is right, like I dated a guy that was 5'8" for maybe 4 or 5 years, and we and he used to say I'm 6'3", you know, like he used to joke about it and everybody would laugh, and it was just something to laugh at, so it wasn't a big deal.
Okay.
So I like tall. Personality wise, I like a little bit cocky. Confidence is sexy, you know. I like a man that knows his power. Men have a lot of power with women, and
So
they
talk a little bit more about that, B.
I like
Joy.
that.
Talk about that. What does that
man,
mean?
you know, y'all can get anything out of us if you ask right and if you know what you're doing. So if they know that, you know, you want to be led. You want to be led by a strong man, especially I'm a strong person. So if you're a strong person, you want somebody that knows his power, because it's never a competition. It's never a power struggle. You just need a man that knows his power.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm making it plain enough, but that's kind of how I feel about
That's
that.
plain.
Yes,
girl.
you are.
Okay.
You tend to.
I like this woman. Who is she? Where is
Oh,
she?
you're so sweet, Dr. Reggie. I like a man that can teach me something. I mean, it can be about anything. Every man I've dated, I felt like I could go do their job because we pillow talk and I learned about what they do. And it can be anything from fixing an air conditioner to running a small business to, you know, I like to learn. I like to be knowledgeable. So, you know, I like somebody that can teach me something. You know, it's not necessarily they don't have to be a rocket scientist, but just be able to teach me something and be willing to share.
Okay.
Somebody that keeps my mind engaged, that kind of stuff. And then, of course, authentic. Authentic is everything.
Right.
Okay. Authentic. All right.
And I like authentic enough, comfortable enough with in your skin to be vulnerable and to can speak to your history, pain, good and bad, and just say it all, because it really just adds to your beauty, you know, as you evolve.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, girl, you better preach. Come on with it. Come on with the gospel for the yes. Thank you. You better
Don't
preach.
forget to turn the page, Joy.
Say that again.
It sounds like you got more to say, so don't forget to turn the page.
No, I don't. I'm just trying to lend to the conversation.
No, thank you, Joy. Malik, what's your input on that? On what you heard so far?
No. I mean, she said some very powerful things.
What about you, Malik?
What do you mean? Like, what are my turnoffs?
What are your requirements? We know you complicated, Malik, but go on.
I'm really trying to think about that because, you know, usually when I meet people, I guess I just go for a certain energy. You know what I mean? I don't know if I really sit and I mentally hit certain check boxes, or even if I have those check boxes, like I might want a woman who's intelligent, right? But let's say I meet
you might want her to be intelligent so she can be dumb too.
No. What I'm saying is that I want her to be intelligent, right?
Okay.
But let's say I meet someone who I clearly know is not intelligent. And you can kind of gather that within the first 5 minutes of talking to someone.
Right.
I typically don't get up and walk away from those kind of scenarios.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's like I'm asking myself, is that really my requirement? Because if that's what I want, why am I not immediately moving away from that?
I think that's a good. Go ahead, continue, Malik. Because
you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you
mean. And that. So I guess as I'm hearing everyone talk about their different requirements and things that they want, I'm really thinking of all my requirements. Like I want this, I want that, and typically, if I have 5 things, I might not get 3 of them, and I don't get up and leave.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm saying, is that really a requirement? I mean, of course, beauty is one.
I think that's a good point because everybody's never going to, I don't think, meet all of our requirements when we.
But like even the basics, like I remember there was a time in my life when I didn't smoke. And if I met people who smoked, I would immediately say, like, you know, it is nice meeting you, but you're clearly not for me because you live a lifestyle that I don't live. There's going to be smoke in the car, smoke in the house. You're going to kiss me. I'm going to smell like cigarettes. You know what I mean? And that was like immediately no. Whereas now, I guess I don't know if it's because I'm older and we're more accommodating and we try to be more understanding. I feel like age has maybe made me bend my requirements.
Oh. So
age just makes you, go ahead.
So it sounds like you give them a little grace when you're, I guess you meet them and then maybe 3 out of 5 things work, but one or two doesn't work. So you give them a little bit of grace to kind of hear some more. I think it sounds like that's what you're doing.
Yeah, probably. But I think we
Believe-
kind of know initially. I think you kind of know requirements and everything else aside. I think it's like maybe a more of a, dealing with energy and spiritual connection. You kind of know when you meet someone if you're going to vibe with them or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I heard Michelle Obama give someone some advice, and she told them that you should not ask for perfection because you're not perfect. And I
Correct.
began to think about that and put that into my lexicon, because I'm not perfect, so I can't ask someone else to be perfect, and that's helped me a lot. I would say if I can get 65% of what I want, 3 things that I can deal with, and 2 things that are just that person, I'm probably doing pretty good. That's just kind of the way
I got a question. I know I'm not a host, but I got a question.
Go ahead, girl.
Why are we all willing to accept these 60% people, but everybody's, don't seem to link up? You would think, like, we seem like reasonable, level-headed people. You would think there's some more reasonable, level-headed people out there. Where is the disconnect?
Oh well, no, I'm not taking 60%. I want 100%. But I'm trying to use more discernment in what are my true requirements. Like if I truly value intelligence, is it academic intelligence? Is it life intelligence? Is it someone who can just carry a conversation? Is it someone who can carry a conversation with me? You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to really be more deliberate in what I'm at. Because they say be careful what you ask for. You might ask for a successful, like I might ask for a successful woman, but then she travels 260 days out of a 365 year. So I got what I asked for. She's successful, but she doesn't have time for me. So I think I'm trying to be more just deliberate and like, okay, these are the things that I need in my life. Like I need a certain level of spirituality from my partner. I need her to think outside, to have an eclectic mindset. These are things that I know I need. So the other things, like when I say intelligence, I'm trying to really define what do I mean by intelligence.
So we've talked about the emotional and mental aspects, but what about the physical aspects? The sexual aspects.
What turns you off?
What turns you off? Or have you left someone because something they did turned you off? Or you were no longer attracted to their body, or you were trying to determine if you were attracted to their body.
Smells.
This sounds a little petty, but like bad shoes just does something for me. Like I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be petty or look at everybody's shoes, but man, a bad shoe could turn me off.
So but what if it's like a nice, say what's like a nice Payless Sketcher or something? That is it's not a bad shoe, but it's not a high end. You be okay with that?
I'm not looking at.
I don't want to see no grown ass man in Skechers. I'm running. I'm sorry.
Like, don't come to me in Crocs. I mean, that's like the pinnacle. Hell no.
I hate women who wear dirty Air Force Ones. Like they've worn one too many times, and they're like white, they're like dingy looking. Yeah, that turns me off. Like, why do you want to wear some white shoes and they're dingy?
So I want to preface this by saying this is a turn off, but not necessarily a deal breaker, right? So there's 2 different things.
Right.
We can all buy a new pair of shoes,
right?
If that's nice.
But if his mindset is like, these shoes are cool, I don't know what you're talking about, and that's his style. Sometimes it's just based out of style.
Yeah, but they're busted up.
Again, you could always change somebody's style if they're comfortable.
Yeah,
but that's the problem. You shouldn't be you shouldn't have to change someone's style. They should automatically just know. I looked in them. Did you look in the mirror before you walked out of the house?
No, because some people are not into style though.
You got mirrors in the house. Well, that person is probably someone you shouldn't be dating anyway, because you can tell if a person has style, if they're having a bad day. They don't have church shoes on with sweatpants, or they don't have white socks on with dress shoes.
Reggie is killing me tonight.
I'm just saying,
I'm going to throw out some things that men say about women that I kind of looked up and I kind of found out. So one of the top one that men said was weight. Malik, you shaking your head.
Because I hate to say this because this is geared more toward sisters than
It is.
other races. Is that I don't mind if you're thick. I don't mind that.
Thick
But
and
let's not start using the word thick as a euphemism for obesity.
Warning. The opinions expressed in this program are those of the presenter in their current state of mind, which they have the right to change at any given moment.
Thank you. We have our
The spam went up.
You know what?
So that's always like a thing for me. It's almost like a badge of honor when girls say like I'm thick, and it's like no, you're not thick. You might need to be more healthy. You know you might be pre-diabetic or something. You might be overweight.
So I have a problem with people diagnosing people's health instead of saying what they'd want to say. If they're fat, they're fat. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they are unhealthy, because there is unhealthy skinny people. So don't try to gloss it over and say, I want you to be healthy. If you don't want her to be Lizzo size or whatever, just say that.
No, but I'm just saying it could be a range of reasons. I don't know if it's health. I don't know if it's just you have a hypoact. You know.
So wait a minute, Malik. I need to. What is who is thick to you in your mind?
What do you mean,
that
like
you would date?
Like who's over thick or who's at the
who's over thick and who's thick that is
Lizzo
acceptable for you?
Lizzo's size probably is a little bit out my arena. I would say maybe the biggest I might go is I like a Viola Davis kind of size.
She's not thick.
Not even a little bit.
Viola Davis. I mean, because I'm thinking she's an older woman. She has the size of.
She's fit. She got muscles.
I don't know that. I can't think of someone.
Jill Scott.
So Malik,
Jill Scott. You know what? Jill Scott, perfect example.
So
Jill Scott might be my limit. Yes, but I'm a smaller guy, so yeah, petite woman would be more.
Like petite women. Okay, so that's your preference, yeah.
Okay, Reginald, what about you? Because I this is what sisters deal with, the thick. I mean, men say it behind closed doors, but we're gonna address this shit tonight.
Yeah, they always say behind closed doors. They say, "Oh, she fat," but in front it's like, "Oh, I need her to be healthy and thick." No.
Let's have a real conversation about that. Y'all's turn off around
weight
a little bit. I mean, because it is one of the things that men talk about. Go ahead, Reggie.
I have a thing for Jill Scott for some reason.
Okay.
Yeah, I like her proportionality. You know, she has it all in the right place. She's talented. You know, she got some nice pipes on her. You know.
So the basketball player wasn't built like Jill Scott.
I've seen Jill Scott like in different kind of, you know, scenes and roles. I've seen her in, you know, a few things, and she carries her weight well, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's good. She's good. I like Serena, of course. Serena, you know, because she's a thick woman, but she's an athletic woman. She works out. That's dope. Yeah.
So Reggie, so can I ask you a question? Is that kind of, when you hear a woman that says she's athletic and thick, is Serena somewhat the standard of what you're expecting in your mind?
Now, someone like in the WNBA. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like a former basketball. Well, let me say a former basketball player, because you don't see many of them out. That's the thing. Malik, you can tell someone that has played a sport.
Yeah,
before.
correct. You still have a little muscle tone and development. You can see even if it's a little pudge. I know what he means. Serena's too big for me though, but I can do Serena. She's a little big for me.
I can tell an athlete just because I've been around athletes all my life. Right. You know, I know what athleticism looks like. I know somebody who's played sports before, because your training it frames your body a certain way. So, you know, it's like most people when they see a tall guy, like the brother who was on a couple of weeks ago, Nat, he was like 6'9". You know, even though he's picked up weight, you would say, oh, he's played a sport before because he's tall, you know, and he has a certain
physique,
body type.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Go
But in
ahead.
terms
or
of
even Joy. I mean, Joy says she's 5'9". If I were to see her, I don't know what her body type looks like, but at 5'9", I would immediately go into sizing her up and saying, okay, what did she play? She has long legs, she has big feet, she has long arms. Basketball. That's a prototype basketball player. She has big hips, big legs. She maybe plays softball, that kind of thing.
Joy, are you built like that?
For me,
I'm 5'10". I'm 5'10". People ask me all the time that I play volleyball or basketball, but I was actually a nerd in school. I didn't do sports. I just looked like I did, but I didn't.
but right. So you know what I'm talking about, right, Joy?
Yeah.
She gets it.
I feel like you avoided the question though, Dr.
What was the question?
What's your preference and your type, body type? You named some celebrities. What about like?
No. It doesn't have to be a celebrity. I mean, it could be. Listen, I like women who are healthy.
That's vague though, Reggie. That's
Okay.
what we're talking about. That's
like, what if
vague.
her cholesterol is 160 and she's not pre-diabetic, but she's 300 pounds? She can be healthy and big. We asking physical like attributes. What you like?
What are your physical attributes? What turns you on? This is the thing. What turns you on?
You want like details?
Y'all know what makes you turn your head? Come on.
Oh, of course.
I like Halle Berry frame. Halle Berry frame. That's what's going to turn my head in the street.
You like petite women.
Yeah,
Halle Berry's not petite.
Reggie. So Reggie, we know Malik likes petite because Reggie, what's gonna make you turn your head?
Medium build, athletic body, legs. I like women with tennis legs. I like tennis legs, long legs, nice thighs, nice calves. They don't have to be very big up top, but nice.
You want them to have a bottom. You want them bottom heavy.
Yeah, palm tight.
Is that what that means? You want them bottom heavy, palming, like a basketball. I assume.
I'm a basketball. So
okay, all right.
He said a palm full up top, but bottom heavy.
Yeah. Nice bottom. I don't like flat cakes. I don't like flat wide or wide flat. I like a little bump. That's nice. Yeah.
One little junk front.
She don't have to be now. She don't have to be like that now, because you see a lot of that down here. BBLs are off the chain down here. It's to the point where you want somebody with a decent, nice size, but you don't. The stuff that you see down here, the silicone is real. Yeah, trust me.
Yeah. I'm curious for the other ones on the list, Natalie, for men.
Wearing too much makeup.
Too much makeup. Too much makeup, fake hair, fake nails. What's real about you? It's almost like remember the movie "I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker"?
Yeah.
When the brother took the girl home and she took her leg off, and then she took her breast down and she took her hair off and she was taking all this. She wasn't her. If it takes me a long time to get you
to unravel you. It takes a long time to unravel you.
If I got to do all of that, it's like, man, this is a lot of work. Yeah,
weight trainer and the Spanx and the girdle and all that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't so much mind hair. Like I think when you got contacts and nails and all, but hair, like if because different people, they're trying to accentuate something about themselves. Like I don't think hair is so deceptive as other things. Like when you meet a girl who has blue eyes, she has a huge backside, she has a flat stomach, and then that all is false once you get her home. But if you just say like, listen, you know what? I'm very playful with my hair, so some days I have it in braids, some days I have it in locks, some days I have it out. I don't necessarily give you strikes for having hair.
Or when those accessories get in the way, like no, I don't want to go swimming because of my hair. Or no, I just got my nails done. Or no, I don't want to go running because I just got, it's going to mess my nails up in my feet. I just got them done. If those accessories are getting in the way of us having some type of lifestyle, that's bothersome. That gets on my nerves. Oh, I don't want to mess my makeup up. Oh, I just got these eyelashes. It's like,
all right. Please. So I'm going to go. So the funny thing is the women really didn't have anything except the bad shoes and poor grooming habits. The other one was saying bad teeth.
we didn't get a chance to kind of go down anything. Really.
I feel like women are big height have height
And
phobias.
height issues. Height.
I just there's just two kind of deal breakers for me. Not even deal breakers, but it's odd and a bit of a turn off. Like if your titties are bigger than mine, that's a problem because I got pretty
Impossible.
big titties.
That happens. There's some men who wearing bras now. Yeah.
Now you can't take off your shirt and take off a bra. That's just gonna be bothersome to me. Or girdle or whatever. And if your butt is bigger than mine, because I got a pretty big butt, if it's bigger than mine, that's not gonna be pretty. I need to be the only one with the big titties and the big ass.
You're the one with the curves, not him.
Yeah.
What about a man with childbearing hips?
What about you, Beach? What about you, Joy?
You mean what physical attributes I like in a man?
Yeah.
So in my defense, the height thing is more about me because I'm tall.
Right.
You know, it's like it's a comfort level thing when you wear heels and stuff like that. It's not that men who aren't tall aren't attractive or they get a strike, but you know, I'll date anybody. I've dated big man, little man. I'm more into like their vibe and their energy,
personality.
Yeah, I'm more the kind of person.
But B-Joy,
you mean what catches my eye? Like
no,
if I would make
no. What is the physical aspect that turns you off? Like just like
turns me off.
Yeah.
A lot of things. Okay, I'm finicky, so a lot of things will turn me off. It might be somebody who's over accessorized. That's not really a physical thing, but like a man with a lot of jewelry, or it's like you putting on airs. That's a turn off if you're doing too much.
Right.
I like you in your simple, natural state because that's enough. So physically, though, I'm sure if I saw somebody with some big breasts, that would be a turn off. I haven't seen it, but I dated a big guy. I've dated a really big guy before, and it wasn't a turn off because I liked him.
Right.
Got that wallet. That wallet was cracking, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. Actually, surprisingly not. No. I'm not. I ain't stuck on that either. I mean, the older I get, I'm 47 now. So the older I get, you would want somebody to be financially stable. But when I was younger, I wasn't too pressed.
The bigness and the chubbiness for me is not a problem. It's just the breast thing and the hips. I'm having a problem with those two specific.
I'm sorry. The big thing. I don't want Nathan Bookman. I mean, like
big teddy bear.
I just don't want Nathan Bookman.
Yeah.
So if you met Bookman,
look, I'm the one with the most body fat in the relationship, not you.
Okay. So if you met Bookman and he was like mentally and spiritually and emotionally everything you wanted, you couldn't give a Bookman?
I've dated a Bookman.
And he could fix it. He could fix everything.
I have. I dated a Bookman in college.
Bookman was a cool dude. I like Bookman.
He was cool, but no.
and I'm thinking like, think about it. Bookman had good hair. And Bookman had good hair.
This is my shallowness. I'm sorry. No. The belly thing. You can look, the biggest belly you can have, Loghorn not chicken hawk. What's the guy? What's the Loghorn farm? You can have chicken. He got a little bit of gut. I can do that. But
let me ask you this.
If your shit is I can't do the gut.
God bless the dead. Would you have dated Biggie if he wasn't Biggie? With the cockeyed?
No.
Like as ugly as ever. If he was just that. But then once he added, I'm Coochie down to the socks, rings.
I don't know.
If Biggie stepped to me with all that fly conversation and swagger, I would have wanted to know where it was coming from. It makes me curious. I want to know why.
I want to be curious. Like I would talk to him, but I don't necessarily know if I would date him.
But I'm saying it before he got to that
look, it has nothing to do with their. I mean, look, status is cool. But your personality
question. I said, would you date Biggie before he said the verse about what he had? Would you date a cockeyed 6'3", 275 pounds?
So I already said I'm not dating anybody that is bigger than who got more body fat than me. I already said that. But I mean, I've dated men who, they weren't the most attractive, but their personality did carry them a lot. Like the person, I think for women, one of the things that women said is you can't have more swag than substance.
Right.
Because there's a
Right.
whole lot of dudes going around here with a whole lot of, but they can't hold a conversation for Nathan Bookman.
No.
Okay.
The substance is such a turn. The substance, the energy, the vibe, the way how they make you feel, the way how they make you laugh. Those are things that are that are big qualities for me that sometimes you just tend to overlook what they look like. And I'm not sure if I could get past the Biggie cockeyed thing, but
Could you be like, where you looking? Where we looking?
I just need you to look in my eyes when we in the bed, and if I don't know where you're looking, that's gonna be a problem.
Because you feel like you being ignored while you having sex. It's like, who you thinking about? I'm sorry.
Who the hell you looking at, Daniel?
Who the hell you looking at? Who are you thinking about? Why is your eye over there? Oh, it's
Like his eyes are shaking like dice.
Another thing that women said, the number one thing for women is they can't. One of the number ones is out of some of the list was being ignored. Don't ghost. Like if I'm with you, or if don't ignore me. Like we're trying, and I think this is within the dating process, right? So if we are dating or we're together, and that shit is the worst.
Yeah. They gotta see me. I'm standing right in front.
You mean ignore you, like don't text and call during the day? Or you mean you're like out together and they
either way.
Not even
that should be your cue. That should be your cue. That should be a woman's cue to cut the date short.
Like, how could I be with you and ignore you if we're out together?
No. But I'm talking. I think she's talking about in a relationship. I think you can tell somebody has mentally checked out when.
Okay. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. That's something that you vet and you know you picking up on that.
I think it happens in let's talk a little bit because we got a little bit of time before we go into after, because we didn't really get into relationships. We're all kind of older now, so we meet people. There's things that turn us off, but we'd be like, okay, am I being petty, or is it just, do I need to kind of,
I know when I'm being petty.
You're being petty, but you like them, and you're like, okay, I'm going to explore this, right? But then those turnoffs do pop up again when shit is like not good, no?
But for me, Natalie, I know me so well. Like if I'm on the fence about a guy, I find everything like, oh, he squeezes toothpaste from the middle, so I can't. Like that, that's just me personally being petty. But I know exactly when somebody's good for me or not. And I'm not going to get like that petty in terms of, oh, those things turn me off or blah, blah, blah,
When do the turnoffs come into play in the relationship, though?
When you stop having good regular sex, then you notice everything.
Yeah. I feel like when you get upset with them, what was a slight nuisance now is a super turnoff. It's like it's almost like you start telling yourself, I should have never gave this big titty punk a chance. You know what I mean? Like you almost feel like you did them a favor.
Yes, Malik. Yes.
And it's like, I don't know in my mind that you're doing me a favor. I'm thinking you like me because you like me. Yes. But then a woman's mind starts playing like, you know what? I don't even usually date men that's less than 6 foot. And this is what happens when I deal with a guy that's under 6 foot. It's just, and I feel like a turnoff morphs into all these other things that really have nothing to do with you.
Yes. It has more to do with the person. Yes. Mm-hmm. I agree. But on the flip side of that, though, sometimes you get either turn off or, based on an argument or a disagreement or something. But that makeup sex, ooh-wee. Lord.
And I'm going to tell you, that has become a turnoff to me as I'm getting older.
Makeup sex?
No, that I feel like we have placed a higher level of importance on physicality and relationships and intimacy than, because I remember my grandfather told me this once. He said, when you find your wife, I promise you will spend more time outside the bed with her than in the bed with her.
Yeah.
But we seem to be, if this person is great physically, we kind of we kind of lose track of all the other things.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
I just wish that wasn't the narrative.
I've
Yeah.
Have
heard that
people
before
been
too.
blinded? Have you been blinded by the sex and you realize I like everything this person does outside the bedroom just turns me off?
Right.
Right.
What
Yeah,
were some of those? How
yeah.
did you get like and you were with that person for a really long time?
Right.
How did
That,
that happen?
that's why the bookman might not be a bad idea.
It just happened. And I remember when I first met this girl. You guys remember Radio Shack?
Mm-hmm.
She used to work at Radio Shack, and I'm in school at the time, and my mom was kind of like, I mean, my parents, both of them were like, so you're in college trying to get to this next level, and you're cashing out now in the dating game of life with this girl who is making Radio Shack her life. Like that's right to you? And I was just like, I mean, I like her and we just like each other. And then I think we was somewhere talking about cigars and she started talking about like Black and Miles. She just would be like very inappropriate. You know what I mean?
Ah!
Conversation today.
And it was just like, and I saw, but I didn't see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These situations that happen, I'm like, well, Ma, she doesn't know about cigars. Who knows about cigars? I barely know about cigars. She's like, but you would not be in that room and they're talking about Nicaraguan blends and Cuban cigars, and you talk about like, oh, well, Black and Miles and Tiparillos. My mother says, you have enough sense not to do that. And I mean, and it was really, I would say the intimacy is really what prolonged our situation.
Yeah.
She wasn't a bad person. We just were not good for each other.
Yeah.
Sex can do a lot of things, and it can really make you take a low road. A lot of times, it keeps people around. You make excuses for that person. I've been in situations like that when I know I had no reason to be dealing with this certain person at that time, but it was the sex,
Yeah. But once that's it.
But then when somebody comes along that you have to compare them to, then that's when you start waking up in your mind like, look, this is not going anywhere. When you really get back on your purpose and your call, what your cause is, you begin to say, this ain't really what I'm supposed to be doing. What happens if, God forbid, she gets pregnant? What's going to, is that part of where I'm supposed to be at this part of my life? Can I be making these stupid type of mistakes?
Right.
Shouldn't be. So my point is, there comes a moment when you start looking at, why am I with this person? What's going on? If you're around the right type of people, they're going to ask you those type of questions. I think that's why your network is very important. The people around you are great.
Right.
To put you back in check, to bring you back to reality. Like,
Exactly.
hey man, okay, this is what you talk about, but at the end of the day, this is what you're dealing with.
Right. So we got like 30 more seconds. So really quick, B-Joy, Reggie, and Malik, what do your turnoffs say about you? In one sentence, if you can.
Then I'm normal. It says to me that I'm normal. We all fall, sometimes we dip, find ourselves in a place where we're not supposed to be. But the most important thing is to recognize that you are not supposed to be there and get back on track.
Okay. B-Joy?
I echo that. We'll leave it at that.
You echo that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's what your turnoffs say about you?
My turnoffs say that I think it's like a reflection of me that I think I'm looking for. And so if I see something I don't like in somebody, I just need to examine me a little bit more. Why is it irritating me so bad? Why does this one thing irritate me deeply and this other one doesn't? I think it says something about me.
Okay.
So I just trying to look more within.
All right. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all smart. Go ahead, Malik. What else?
I would say for me, it just denotes a level of exploration into myself and the world. Pretty much what the other two said. Just I'm trying to see what it is that, because maybe my turnoff might mean something about me I need to fix.
Right.
You know what I mean? Necessarily, it's not always a reflection of the other person. I might have to do some soul searching and changing and growth.
Yeah.
Y'all, this was good.
Yeah.
Y'all showed up and showed out. Thank you so much. We will be back next week we're so excited. So y'all are officially, especially Reggie and Joy,
I
y'all
like.
officially part of the
I
Stack
love some.
Panel.
I love it.
Calling
I always,
on y'all. for
I
your-
always rant and rave about your show,
Yes.
Nat. To my friends that I meet here, I do invite people on. I have some people that I really want you to reach out to. I'll send you their emails, and they're really great people here in South Florida who are interested in being part of what you're doing. So don't be surprised if some people pop up, in your email or your inbox that I've invited, to come onto your platform.
Thank
Nice.
you. We also have Stack Singles. So if y'all are single, hit me up. That's tomorrow. And Sunshine does her Be Ready campaigns on Sunday. So check her out too. Bye, y'all. Have a good weekend. If you want to come into the after party, we're starting that now.
Later.